Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is G. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and for stopping by. On my channel, I like to make videos to talk about the shady and predatory practices of MLMs. MLMs are multi-level marketing businesses, but they also go by some other names such as direct selling, social selling, network marketing, and of course, legal pyramid schemes, because people always like to say, well, they're legal, so that means that it must be okay. No, Karen, just because it's legal doesn't mean that that's the right thing. In today's video, I wanted to talk about some MLM marketing techniques, and I also wanted to juxtapose those claims with reality, because a lot of the things that we see on Instagram Reels, they are just flat out lies and bogus. So let's go ahead and get started and hope you enjoy. Why Monat maybe didn't work out for that someone who knows someone who knows someone. Did they post or talk about anything? Were they consistent, and if they shared, how long for? Did they get on any calls? Did they implement anything on the calls into their businesses? Okay. Let's go ahead and let's read the caption now as well. My biggest pet peeve is when people say Monat didn't work for them when they didn't work for their business. This is still a business at the end of the day, which means that you still need to build trust and put in work every single day. There are tools for you to better your business and yourself, in caps. And everyone has the same 24 hours in one day. If there are 20 things you need to be doing to build a six-figure income, but you only ever did 10 of those things, you can't say that this business didn't work for you because you didn't work for this business. Straight up. Microphone emoji. So if you heard that this business didn't work for someone and that's what's holding you back, guess what? You aren't them, and it could totally work for you. But how will you know unless you try? Oh my goodness. Okay. So the reason that I wanted to share that one with you all is because I really have an issue with how it is proclaiming that if the business doesn't work out, which it's not going to work out, statistically speaking, it's not. This whole argument is, well, it's not the company's fault. It's your fault. You didn't work hard enough. In MLMs, that's always the narrative, right? It's that you should join because you're going to be a millionaire. And if you don't end up becoming a millionaire, well, it's your own fault. You weren't posting enough. You weren't jumping onto enough Zoom meetings. You weren't following exactly what we said. You did not stay in the company long enough. All of these things that are shifting blame from the actual business model, from the actual structure of the company, and just focusing it on the individual distributor, which honestly, that would really irritate me if I was working my ass off and then to have people turn around and tell me that I wasn't working hard enough, and that if I was failing, it was my fault. Even though she mentioned it so casually in her video, which I think is to try to give the impression that, oh, whoever failed at this business and is talking shit on us, they couldn't handle these things. Like, ugh, so simple, right? But the thing that you have to remember is in MLMs, you can literally do everything right. You can go after all of your network of people that you know. You can attend all the calls, implement the strategies, post 75 times a day on your social media pages. You can literally do everything you need to do, and it still might not work. And that's not a reflection on you, right? That's the way that the business is set up. It's set up intentionally that way so the people at the very top can make all the money. And this isn't just my opinion here. Let's take a look at the Monat income disclosure statement so we can see. The Monat income disclosure that I'm showing you is from 2020, and I want to show you this sentence here, which is kind of interesting. It says, 46% of U.S. market partners were not active in 2020 and therefore did not earn any commissions. So basically, 46% of market partners, which that's the lowest rank that you can reach after you sign up in the company, right? 46% of them didn't earn a single commission. Wow, that's almost half that didn't earn anything. They lost money on everything that they were spending on the products for themselves. And then over here, it's so sneaky how they've presented the information to us, because they say right here, here's the rank, and then it has percentage of active and inactive U.S. market partners at this rank in 2020. So they're showing us those people who were active and who were inactive. So that's why I wanted to tell you about the 46% being inactive, because right here they're telling us 92% of this company is comprised of these market partners, right? And 92% of the company had an average annual earnings of $161 in a year. And remember, this is not factoring in the money that those market partners have had to pay into the company with their product packs, with their back office software, right? With all of their hidden fees. So they're really not making much. And that's the majority of the company. That's 92% of the company is going to be making that. That's horrible. We won't go through this whole entire income disclosure right here, but just to show you the vast difference here, the top 0.01%, so the itty bitty person at the top, they have an average annual earnings of about $1 million, a little bit over $1 million. So they are making bank, right? And literally 92% are making $161 before expenses. So yeah, that's why I just have a problem with people saying, hey, it's not the business's fault, it's your fault, you suck. No, actually, even if you follow all the steps, even if you do everything right, you're still going to be in a really bad position. And also, just to be clear, if it really were as easy as just following all the steps, there would be way more millionaires in this company than there are right now. But it's very distinct how there's a really tiny number of high earners and a huge population of this company that earn jump change. So let's go ahead, and I want to just look at one more clip here. And I want to tell you something about this clip. When I first saw it, I wasn't sure that it was an MLM. I mean, I thought so because it had some distinct catchphrases and languaging in there. But I thought, oh, maybe this is somebody else who's doing some business, and you know, so people do that sort of stuff. I see that people have their legitimate businesses on there. But nope, I went on her profile, and yeah, she is with an MLM. So just prefacing it with that. And I don't think this girl is going to tell us what her company is. So I'm going to have you guess in the comment section, if you're familiar with other MLMs, which MLM do you think that she is from? Let's go ahead and play it. Okay, so it says, go to college, get degree, land a 9-to-5, get married, have kids, retire. So some of that language in there is what made me think it was an MLM, right? 9-to-5. Who's always talking about 9-to-5s? Oh, you know, watch out for the 9-to-5s. And then talking about retiring right there too. So let's see what she says next. And she tosses it up and she does that bow, 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 bow. And now she says, CEO, retired at 24, no kids, no debt, traveling. Hashtag, this is what did it for me, you guys. Hashtag breaking generational curses. And remember, I told you in the beginning, I was like hoping, no, she's not in an MLM. She has her own business, right? She really is a CEO of something. I didn't see anything on her page that shows that she's an actual CEO. So let's just go ahead and say maybe she is, right? She's a CEO of something different. But if we're talking about the MLM, and guess down below if you haven't guessed yet, which one do you think she's from? If we're talking about your MLM, girl, you are not the CEO, right? A CEO is the Chief Executive Officer, the highest ranking person in the company or institution ultimately responsible for making managerial decisions. Boo, you're not responsible for making any choices about the price of those products, about the ingredients, or about the schedule of when they're going to be released, about the conventions. You got no power over that, boo. You're not a CEO. You're a distributor. You signed up with them, and now you make money by getting other people to join that company. That's not what a CEO does. And then the next thing I wanted to mention was she mentioned retired at 24. I mean, I'll just say that when I'm retired, I'm not going to be posting advertisements on my social media accounts, right? I'm going to be chilling and grilling and living my best life and not trying to get people to join a business. So that one, that's just what I would do though. And then, friends, the thing that really irritated me here was how she said hashtag breaking generational curses. Again, let's just say best case scenario, she is a CEO of a different company and she has multiple streams of income and, she's not just a full-time scammer of people trying to get them to join her MLM. Let's say all of that good stuff. And let's say that she really is breaking some generational curses in her family. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with this term, how I understand it to mean is that maybe if your parents or your grandparents were not able to go to college or buy property or, move up in a socioeconomic bracket, is that the right term? Move up socioeconomically, you would be breaking that generational curse by moving higher than your parents or your grandparents were able to go. And I want that for people. I just don't want it for people when the thing that's making it possible for them to be privileged and wealthy is the fact that they are taking from others and putting others in a really negative position. So that's what really bothers me, and it makes me think back to Herbalife and how Herbalife specifically would go after Hispanic, undocumented people because they were an easy target, because they had huge dreams, huge aspirations, wanting to create some wealth here for their families in this country and just completely taken advantage of. So don't do that. Just don't. That's not the way to break a generational curse. I guess my closing thoughts are, MLMs, we see you when you're trying to convince people that they're the reason for the failure and not the business. If you are in an MLM and you are not doing well, you're not a failure. The company's a failure, right? If you've left an MLM and you've been excommunicated and people have talked about you and said, oh, that person, they couldn't handle it, they didn't work hard enough, you know that the MLM is full of shit. And it's not because of you, it's because of them. So MLMers, don't even use that excuse, all right? Like, it's embarrassing. Please stop. Also, don't be breaking generational curses with pyramid schemes. You are going to be setting back a family so much more by involving them in a pyramid scheme, in a legal pyramid scheme, okay? All of that extra hundreds of dollars that you're sinking into the products or the hidden fees or the website fees or whatever, that could be the difference between a family saving up, going on a vacation, having a down payment for a house, or pouring their money into a freaking crappy ass product in the pockets of the top 0.1% of the company. Well, those are my closing thoughts. Thank you so much for sticking around and joining me for this episode of MLM Marketing versus Reality. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! You guys, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you what MLM the second girl was in. And if you said that she was in Monat, you would be correct. Okay, sorry. Bye.